Let's throw this thing into a race. And I got a 2018 list. Cool. Do it 20 laps. Yellow flags. Okay. Let's do it. Oh, snap. That's not what I wanted. I chose the wrong track. I forgot I was in different session. No problem. I'll just get out of it. Wrong track. Alright, let's go into... Okay, that's all good. Let's do it. See how well this thing sizes up with... Man, another drink here real quick. Alright. Alright, we're not going to bother qualifying. We're going to go right to race. Starting on the backstretch.
Drivers, start your engines!
Not in the single digits. That's a plus. I mean, granted, I'm hovering right around low 30s. That's to be expected. It's to be lower, I guess. Initial grid. Wow, that's pretty cool. I like that. I'm not in the single digits. That's cool. Starting in the back. I don't know how these cars are rated. This is all default, unedited.
Hi, man. I'll call the green there. Nice first shift, and I'll walk in front of you. Go get him. All right, man. Pace cars in. Get ready. Grind, grind, grind. Grind, grind, grind.
Let's go. Nice, slow pokes. Ooh, they're scraping the wall. Yeah, I didn't redo the LPs for this one, so I remember that being a part of the problem for...
One outside at your door. Clear.
Ooh, loosey-goosey. Oh, they're scraping the wall. That's cool. Dang.
Side. At your door. At your door. 33, 1, 2, 4, 7, clear low.
Kind of liking this. I mean, I'm working my way to the field, moving up into the low 40 frame rates. It's pretty cool. I mean, for my system, that's a good. I mean, I was running pretty consistently in, you know, just above the single digits in frames. That's how bad it was for the optimization, I guess. My
30.6, 3, 6. One inside.
Oh!
Still there.
Don't do it.
Clear. Outside.
Come on, move, buddy.
Clear.
Oh, you bastard.
Tailor back.
Oof.
Second. Caution's going to be out. All the way to the line.
That's going to leave
All the way to the line. Pit road's closed. Pit road's closed.
Damn it. Slow poke. Alright. Let's get her right in here. Yeah, I mean, the frames didn't even drop there when they wrecked. That's pretty cool. Liking it so far.
Caution's out. Caution's out. Go ahead, get caught up. 50.8. 1, 5.
Yeah, the sparks on the wall are actually pretty cool.
52.
But that was one thing that we kept in mind as far as racing the AI. They do tend to scrape the wall because the LP needs to be adjusted. Is this the pace car? Yeah. Around here. Okay, gotta get back to the...
I think pit road will be open this time. I will be a second time back.
This I know.
37.1, 3.
The sparks on the wall? Yeah. I think it's cool, but I think it does hurt the performance of the cars, I think, they get damaged. And, that was something that we did keep in mind. That if you're racing AI or whatever, that tend to damage them, or just scrape the wall, or whatever like that. It's going to hurt their performance because they're too close to the wall.
34.965.
Alrighty then. I guess we'll bring it in next time by, and we'll put some fresh rubber on it and fix our damage. Sounds good. So far, it's looking pretty good. As far as the mod, anyway. Definitely an improvement. The track doesn't look too bad, too. It's just those tire marks are just
Stay behind. It's 96.
really getting to me. Yeah, right? Let's see if they're removing it or not. As far as that fender. Ooh, someone's smoking. Who is that? Working around that dude. Who is that? Ooh, that's Kyle Larson.
It goes B45. Need to amend that for 3,000 second gear.
Should be in the back
Hey,
here.
card. On the front right here.
Here we
So
be.
you want to go right here. Pass. Just one car.
Got my Monster Energy
In turn one.
pit official installed there.
Hey, card. In turn two. Okay, go, go, go. It goes B45. Need to amend that for 3,000 second gear. Hey, card. Down the back stretch. 1 minute 54.193.
Kyle's really broke, I'm telling you.
Stay behind. 62. Outside road. Clear to the wall. They're all clear. All clear. Go hard. Stay on the apron until we get over there off two. There you go. Go hard. Hey, man. I'll call the green there. Nice and good, and I'll walk in front of you. Go get him. All right, man. Pace cars in. Get ready. Bring her.
Didn't make it to the end of the field before they went green. That's okay. We're there. We're there. We're so there.
57.066.
Oh, goodness. Oh, why'd you come in front of me like that? Good grief. You doofus. Who was that? Do you see that? He came right in front of me.
The hell happened now? Might be blowing up.
That's a good test, though, because it obviously actually shows me whatever, because I was
You
like,
have to drill that fender, and you have to push up on it. You got rivets you're going to put in it, so you got to fasten that together, then you need to put the bear bond on it.
no caution?
Look at the recoil there. Taking down a cylinder right here. Leader's coming up.
Why the hell is there no caution? That's crazy. Maybe because I was a lap car. It's like, yeah, he's alright. Damage model still looks pretty cool, but yeah, it's not dropping a whole lot of frames like it was before.
It goes speed
I
45.
mean, before I get into wrecks, it was just like the
3,000
frames
second
just
gear.
would drop like a freaking stone.
Get her over there to the garage area.
Bummer. Ugh, that stinks. I gotta watch that. Do you see that dude? He came right in front of me, though. Bastard. Let me back this up here. He pulled out right in front of me. Okay, I was coming around. Look at that. Alright, hold on. Let me put this on. No, let's go to roof. Chase? That sounds good. Let's back this up a little bit. Watch this, dude. He's up in that lane. Up in that lane. Okay, he's down. Oh, he's moving. Oh, I see. Someone got into him. Alright. Guess I can't blame him. Who got into him? Somebody got into him. I put him there. Oh, that was Larson. I think. Let me back it up a little bit. And let me go up here. Yeah, I think that was Larson, wasn't it? No, the 72 here. No, it wasn't the 72. Who was that? See, this is what I was talking about as far as when cars get, you know, they scrape the wall. That's probably what happened to this dude. He's limping around. Oh, it's Trevor Bain, okay. So yeah, he's obviously hurt. Let's see what happened to him. That was restart. Yeah, so he's pulling out of... Whoa! Whoa! Stay the fuck up there! Why are you coming down? Boom! That's where I hit him. So yeah, it was him. Bastard. Just trying to work his way. Stay your ass up at the top until all the cars go by, you moron. Trevor. Jesus. Yeah, he was coming down. He was trying to get down to probably coming to the pits. Needed to stay up at the top. Yep. Exactly, yeah, he was trying to go for the apron, but should have waited until all the cars went by. Anyway, let's put this back on live. And let's go. Who's, Truex is leading. Come on, Truex. Let's see, let's put it on. Spectator view. Let's see what they got. Oh, Kyle's coming on his tail. Yeah, he had something. Trevor there, he had something. He was obviously trying to get to the apron, but it's like, you need to stay to the top side, you dummy. Let the fast cars go by. Let's see if I can, ooh, pretty. I forgot I did that one that way. Yeah, let's check it this way. Can't believe there wasn't no caution either. That was crazy. Must have been far enough out of the way. That happens sometimes. See what lap are they on here. 19 of 33. Yep, 86 accident, 42 had a gearbox problem. 6 is still limping it. 6 laps down. Let's put it on the 6 car. He probably just needs to retire. Good grief. Oh yeah, the walls look really good. Let's, where's the 6? 6 is limping it around. Yeah, he's way in the back. Just park it. It's those kind of people. That thing is wrecked. After we tangled. Curious to see if Kyle Busch there gets around the 78. Let's get back up towards the front here. There we go. Let's look at this battle. Can he catch him? He's getting on his. He's on his heels. Oh, coming up the lap traffic. Oh, he's got him pinned. Kyle's not necessarily one of my favorites, but to each their own. He can be kind of an idiot. Granted, I don't feel he did a terrible job, I guess, as far as representing, you know, being a champion of the sport. You know, he was, for lack of a better way to put it, I guess he was at least elegant, let's put it that way. Oh, look at that! He's right on his tail. Truex has got to deal with lap traffic. Look at all this lap traffic. Can he get him? Can he do it? They got a lot of lap traffic. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Look at him go. Man, they must got these things rated pretty good. Ooh, Truex scraped the wall. And he makes the pass. Now Denny Hamlin's coming on his heels. And those are all leaders. Oops, let's go this way. Yep, 78. Now it's got the 18 to 11. Ooh, 78 fell back to 5th. Holy smokes. What happened to him? Kyle wore him out. Oh, look at that. These cars look really good. These are just default stuff, I guess, that come with the 18 mod. Wow. Truex lost all of his wind. I think he's... Did he lose another spot? Nope, still in 5th. Oh, he's freaking battling with Clint. Coming up on... Who drives a 24 now? Oh, that's terrible. Whoever it is that drives a 24 now. Isn't that, was it Bowman? Or Bowman's in the 88. It was, William Byron? Yeah, William Byron. Truex is making the way back up there, but I don't think, I wonder if, let's go check up in the front again. Ooh. Oh, see, 6 is getting in the way. Park it! Get that shit off the track. Park that damn thing. Yeah, Denny's is working on Kyle, but he's not quite able to do it. Question is, can he do it? I'm gonna get can he pull it off? You got 3 laps left. Oops. Damn, what the hell was that? Oh. Why is that not ramping up there? Ah, what the hell's going on here? Oop, bear with me here. Don't know why that's not, okay. My bad, sorry about that. Freaking came up there, I guess it was overheating. Favorite driver as of out of the ones that are now? Nobody really. I mean, it was Junior, I guess, after Gordon retired. Now there's relatively no drivers I really give a crap about, I guess, in the series now. They all got their qualms about him. You know, my biggest thing, like with Truex, if he was driving anything other than a Toyota, I probably would support him. I mean, he's a good guy. Don't get me wrong, but the fact that he drives a Toyota, I mean, that's at least 2 Toyota teams, whatever, that have won a championship so far. You know, that and with Kyle Busch's team and Joe Gibbs, it just doesn't seem right. I don't consider the Toyotas, and I don't care how much they're manufactured in America. They're imports, and that's part of the big problem I got, I guess, with the direction NASCAR is going. As far as they're talking about, I guess, Nissan. As of late, there was an article I read, I guess, about Nissan has submitted, I guess, to NASCAR to potentially bring a make in, I guess, to the series, and it's just. Yeah, Edwards was pretty cool. You know, the fact that he got out, and I mean, it just, to me, it just goes to prove. Yeah, Denny couldn't pull it off. It's like Kyle got it. That was pretty cool. That was interesting to watch. But yeah, Carl was pretty good, and it's Carl's decision there. I think it falls much on the same line as like Gordon and all that did, because he, the direction that NASCAR is going. I think that's the big reason. I mean, yeah, they had their other reasons as far as getting out, but I think what really was the case is, probably the fact that Carl, when you consider how many seasons that he ran with Roush in particular, never got a championship. I mean, he was, he had good equipment. Don't get me wrong. Oh, you redid that track screen too. That's cool. Even implemented that new Xfinity logo. I guess they made it that square one instead of that oval looking thing. Cool. Nifty. Yeah, what else was I going to do? I think that was it. Oh, you're a Ford guy? Okay. That's fair enough. I guess I'm diehard Chevy. I guess that's primarily, what, in Gordon's career, whatever, that's all he drove was Chevys, especially with Hendrick. Granted, yeah, he did drive Fords, I guess, at one point in his career, but that was like in his rookie. Okay, so I guess what I will do, we're going to take a look at this thing here. Rename this. I already got my unpack here for it, so I'm going to go ahead. Oh, crap. Screwed up there. Not bad. Okay, I gotta do this first. I gotta go. Let me open this real quick. I always like to take out the PCK files. I don't need it. That's using the WinMip too, as we were talking about earlier. I mean, big 3, yeah, like I said. Okay, let's yeah, I'm gonna cut this, and we'll go ahead and put it in. Why in the world? That freaks me out though. That thing came up there. That shouldn't have, because it was only at 50 degrees. That was kind of weird. Yeah, it's kind of normal. Let me see if that's spiked. Did that spike it out? Something spiked. Ooh, so you got the 127. What's today? 3/7. Sure the hell did. You got the 127. How the hell? Yeah, 1640. That's why it, that's why it came up there. It got a little warm there. 3/7 at 1640. Huh. Why didn't the fan kick in? Let me see here. It kicked in, but it didn't do it like it's supposed to. A second here. Bear with me. I need to go into my fan curve here. I don't know why it's not. So at 40. Yeah, something got adjusted there. I don't know how, but. Don't know why that changed, but we're going to go ahead and adjust this. There we go. Cool that sucker off. It's running a little bit warm. You know, that's something I guess I've been dealing with too. I've had to, as of recently, I've had to reapply my drivers for my car or whatever a couple different times frequently, and it's just like, well, what the heck is up with that? But I think every time I do that, I have to reset this this utility for the fan. So oh, okay. Yeah, I can do that. What I really wanted to look at, oh, and I still got that on the clipboard. Just a second here. Let me get this into put that in here. And I'm going to rename this to, oh, copy this again. What are you doing? That's not what I clicked on. There we go. So, yeah, here's the unpack. I got rid of the PCK. So, mentioning do ground left, cut ground. Let's see what we got. Couldn't get 3D Sim to open. Why not? Do you have the 3.1? What version do you have? And usually if you go to try to load it, what I've come that works better, even though it gives you the option when you try to load the PTF, it'll ask you if you want to load TSOs. You can say no. What I've found that works better, go into directly into Sandbox and delete all the objects and save that PTF, and then load that PTF in 3D Sim Ed. So that way that's all you've got, is just the geometry. Because sometimes 3D Sim Ed will, even though you say no, I guess, to load TSOs, it'll still, it seems to still want to try to read it, if you will. See, like, the version that I got is 3.1.1, I believe. Let me bring that up. Yeah, I got 3.1C. That might not even be the latest version, but that's the version that I use. But as far as opening the PTF, let's see how that goes. Let me try. So let's do an import. We'll navigate to that. Oh, let's see here. TT, there we go. PTF. Let's see what we got here. Cannot load. I'll be darned. Oh, you're not alone in that, I guess. Interesting. Huh. All right. Well, let me use my advice that I just gave you. Let's see, because I haven't seen that ever happen before, but that's interesting. So let's try this. Let's go into Sandbox. Nope. Wrong track. Let's go into... Dadgummit. Alright, let's open this thing up here. Check some few things out. Give that a second or two to load. All the Atlantas don't load? That's interesting. I haven't necessarily tried or not tried. So, alright, let's try it this way. So if we go into object placement view, I've found this works in a lot of cases, so I'm going to go delete all. Take it a couple seconds. There we go. So now we got all the objects are removed. So now I'll go ahead and go back to geometry, file, save as. I'll save that as a new PTF. So I'll just do that. For this case, I'll just add a B to it, and we'll see if we can load that one. Okay. So now we're going to 3D Simid. We'll get to the bottom of this. I mean, maybe it's one of those things. I know, like with the original Bristol, say for example, it was either the night version or the day version. You could load it in Sandbox. So what you essentially had to do is open one or the other. You know, edit it to day and or night. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was the night you could and the day you couldn't, or something of that nature. I can't remember. One of them you could, one of them you couldn't, but you had to convert the other one, I guess, to either night or day in order to have an edit of Bristol. Oh, so you did attempt to do that. Okay, so we're going to try it this way. We're going to see if we can't get to the bottom of... So we're going to try to open our new PTF here. I'll be daggone. Interesting. That is interesting. Wonder why I can't load it. I mean, it doesn't load nothing. I mean, it shows up here that it's... Huh. I wonder what's in there. What? Well, how many segments does this thing have now that I think of it? It has 52 segments. That shouldn't be a segment issue. That is peculiar. Never had that problem before. I wonder... I think I know why. I thought we had already done this, to be honest. One of the things with 3D Simid, it will not open default Pappy tracks. See, so this goes back to what we were talking about before as far as this being obviously not a scratch build. It's based on a default. The originality of this track came from the default Atlanta. 3D Simid will not open default Pappy tracks. Okay? So with that in mind, this is a whole nother topic. So I'm going to mark this down, I guess, as far as when we discuss this. So, let me get that out of the way. Be it the fact that this is, like I said, this is based on what you have to do then, and this isn't wrong or whatever to remove the objects and all that. That's fine. So, no, it would be the same thing. Because the 2014 version, that's exactly what we used to build the SRA version. So it's going to count. It's basically carrying over, because the original 2014 was based on the default Atlanta, and the 2014 was used to build the SRA. That still all exists. So because that was based on it, what it boils down to, and this is what I'm going to go over. What you have to do is you have to change the lead segment. This is how you get it 3D Sim to not recognize the track as an original happy track. So here we go. We're going to go like this. We need to, one of two ways you can do it, but I think the best way that I found to do this, I'm going to go ahead and unlock all geometry. And yeah, it's understandable, but we're gonna get you squared away here in a second. So what you do is unlock all geometry, go into here, and what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna right click in this deal. I want to, I'm going to do that. I want to delete that segment. Okay. Follow me yet? And then what you do from there is you take and close up. And everything's going to get messed up in here, but that's fine. We're going to move this all the way over to here. Close this up. Now, granted, anything that you've got going on, I guess, in this area is going to be affected. So you have to keep that in mind as far as doing this. But what you're ultimately trying to accomplish here is you're trying to trick 3D Sim into understanding that this is not a default Pappy track. And this is one way you can do it, and I may not necessarily do it this way now that I think of it. I think I'm going to go a different route. Just a second. What it really boils down to is you just have to change where the lead segment is. That's all you have to really do. So I think I'll do it that way. So let me show you. Let's reload this rather than go through all that jazz. That was one of the ways that we used to do it, as far as just to change you know, the integrity, but really all it comes down, you can put it wherever you want, because as far as the model of the track, it does not matter where the lead segment is. As far as the model is concerned, like I said, it doesn't matter where that lead segment is. So all you have to do is, I'm just going to put it on the, in fact, I'm going to put it on the backstretch. How about that? That's what I've found works better. So all you have to do is right click into the segment on the backstretch and make this a lead segment, and then save it again. Make sure it's a lead segment for sure. Yeah, so that's grayed out here as a lead segment. So, and double check over here to make sure that this one isn't the main. So this would be, this was previously the lead segment. Okay, so yeah, we're truly, we've moved our lead segment over to the backstretch here. Okay, this is just for the purpose of making a PTF that'll load in 3D Sim. So we're going to save this. The lead segment moved. Okay, now when you go into 3D Sim, it should load. You'll make a liar on me, watch. Any other track that we've done this to, it works. So watch. So you just want to say no, and bam, there you go. Now from here you can create your DAE. NASCAR would do what anyway? As far as change the lead segment, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. But anyway, that's how you do that. So just change where your lead segment is and put it on the backstretch. Doesn't matter which one. Save that PTF and then load that PTF. But also use that advice that I've mentioned as far as like in your PTF that you remove the lead segment, remove all the delete all the objects too. And even though it does still give you the option to say no to load TSOs, still say no. Then you shouldn't have any problem. So there you go. You got the, now from here you can do your export or your DAE. you can go from there. And I need to reset that, though. Now that I think of it, I need to go into my import options and change that stuff, because I was playing around with that crap. Yep, so this should be 10. I think this was 5. I'd have to go back and look at James's little tutorial there, but yeah, you want to set that appropriately. Make sure that's set appropriately. James got a video. That's what I always tend to refer to remember what I set there. But yeah, you want to make sure you get these settings done properly before you do your DAE. But anyway, you should be able to do from there your plugin export, do your DAE, and you're off and running. So, in fact, I'll go ahead and try to see if that'll, yeah, should produce it. So that goes there. Yep, there's the DAE. Oops. Yep, so that should work. So now you got more work to do. Yeah, definitely set it to that video. That's your best. You want it on. I forgot to check that too. You not want to have it on. As far as the import options, you want it set. Yeah, only high detail geometry. And I can't remember exactly what the numbers. I think this is what it was. It was 10, 5, and 1. I think that's what it was. I forget exactly. But yeah, that should be how you do that. See, and that's another favorite thing, and that's how you can tell. That's another way you can tell whether or not if someone said that they built a scratch built. If you can't load the PTF in 3D SimEd after you unpack it, that's another clue. Because 3D SimEd is the way it's designed. It's not designed to open default Pappy tracks. So the only way to trick it is to do this like I showed you. You have a screenshot of what? Oh, yeah. Yeah, good idea. That's a good idea. Not a bad idea. See, I've got, what I did was I took the liberty, and I think that was the video I did that to. I put this timestamps. So if you go to look at that video, you can actually advance right to that portion of when he mentions those settings. So any which way you can get the information, that's so go ahead and exit out of that. Okay. So anyway, yeah, you should be able to. So you were you were saying to go to. Let me look for that texture. Cup, grass, cup, ground left. So you got ground left and right. Okay. I see what you did. Yeah, see, that's a different way to do it too. I mean, as long as it. Oops. I'm starting to lose my voice. That's crazy. Alright, let's take a look at this. Wow, look at that. Oh, yeah, well, we had that object in there anyway, didn't we? I think. That I remember. This was already in there, wasn't it? As far as to make this, because I remember having to do this. So all you did was just... Yeah. So I think that exists. From what I remember, I'm going back to our original 2014 build. Let me see here. Yeah, let me look at that real quick here. I was pretty sure that's... We had that in there too. Yep. So all you did was just apply it to that. Cool. Well, at least you were able to use that for something else. Yeah, it's been a while, like I said. We've done so many freaking builds, I forget when we do that. So yeah, at least you were able to use that. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So you repurposed that. That's kind of neat. So going back to what I really wanted to look at too was, I'm going to reload. Why did my aimbot close? What? What's up with my aimbot? Guess I lost my aimbot. Oh well. Don't know what happened there. Let's see here. Why did you crash? Don't know why that crashed. Reload that. Dagnabbit. I don't know why that crashed. Just give me a minute here. Welcome to anybody else coming to the stream. Feel free to say hello. By the way. So, yeah, I want to make sure I got this. I don't know why that crashed. That's crazy. Anyway, so what I want to do is, yeah, I want to load back the initial unpack here. So let's open this up here. I want to take a look at what you had for the top, the safer and all that. I know that was one thing I took note of. I already know what's going on with the yeah, these textures. Yeah, so the fact that you've got that applied the way it does, I think, like I said, there's probably a better way that we can do an overlay based on it. You have the option. You have the option now to have the model of the track. You can probably isolate just the racing surface there, so that you can put, you know, make objects, even if you have to make several of them around the track. You know, as far as piece it out, so that it's not one big. You wouldn't be able to put it in one object, that's for sure, because that's just that object would be too big. So. But from that model, you should be able to create just similar to the way I was showing that shadow plane. Much the same way, anyway. Alright, so let's go into softwall top. And I need to get into a section where you got, oh, this one's top red, top blue. Okay, that one apparently does not have. Just got to find a section whenever that you got verbiage. Top blue, top red. See, one thing I guess that I'm noticing, there's some inconsistencies in your skewing. Some of them you've got it set to 2. That one's 2. This one's not. Was there a method to the madness there? This one's set to 1. You probably want to have these more consistent. I don't know if there was a reason to have to do that. No way? No way about what? I know the chat's a little delayed, but I'm noticing the inconsistencies in the texture sizes for the top walls in particular. See, like this one's not set to 2. Was there a reason for that? Yeah, look and see. This is over in turn 1 and 2. I'm not doubting, I guess, any reasons for having to do that, because I know sometimes that's what it's. I always try to keep the texture sizes the same all the way through. That's all. So I think it was. I gotta get an idea of where I'm at here. So that's more in turn 1. Okay. Alright, so starting off, you've got it set to top red with a texture size of 1. Okay. So that should be over here. Alright, let me see if I can. I want to see what you did here. Got me curious. So yeah, so if I set this to, yeah, this one's set to 2. What is the right side is 2, left side is 2, yes, so that should all need to be 2. This one's only 1, so let's see if I put this at 2. Yeah, this is something you might want to consider going through, because that'll make a difference as far as how that texture, especially with the lines, that should be on the, I don't know if you actually got the lines. Doesn't look like you do. So like these lines here for the seams of the panels, I don't know if you've got those on there, but oops, I'm gonna close that. Let's see what you got here. So you got soft wall, top. Let me look at the red. Top blue, top red. Okay, can't necessarily tell from that. Right, but what I'm saying is you want to keep your texture sizes relatively the same on all facades, I guess is what I was trying to say. So in other words, the way these textures, I don't remember the way we had them initially. I think we did have them set at 2, but whatever they are on all facades, you want to have them the same, I guess is what I'm saying. Even though it doesn't physically change it, that's just another good practice, because what I'm noticing, that's what I'm double checking here, you don't have the seam lines for the panels. That's what's going to make that difference, because this is just one continuing texture, I guess is what I mean. You don't have it, it doesn't stop anywhere, so it should stop somewhere in here as far as, and when I say stop, it should have a shadow line, a shading line. So that's what I'm trying to look at here now. So you got the top there. Let's see, let's look at your soft wall. Top red, so where's the, I assume that is soft wall red. What is that on that side? Left walls, soft wall red, logo, okay. Here it is. So yeah, what I'm noticing here, and this is something you can tweak that pretty easily if you've got the texture, I guess, to make this. Again, you should put, there should be a, you can barely see it, it's usually on the edge here, but it's a shading line. And you could probably look at, yeah, I don't know what you have, I guess, as far as, or what you used to even make this, to be honest. I don't know if you just recolored it or what, but it should have that shading line, which it doesn't seem to have looking at these, because I don't see any, you don't have any reason to have to skew it forward or back, so, but it just seems to be one continuous color, and it's going all the way through there, and it should stop somewhere in the middle of this. And again, like I said, stop, it should have that seam. But definitely go through and double check all your text skews and make sure that on all facades they're the same, regardless of the fact that it changes the way the color looks or not. Because if, say, down the road, so you use the white one in there, it should have, for some reason though, it seems it spanked out, I guess, that shadow, that shading line for the seam. You might want to double check it. And like I said, it could be an easy fix, because you got everything else set the same other than missing that. Same with the top. And as far as the shading line, you mean? See, I'm going to open up the because I can see it clearly. Here, let me put it back on what I was talking about as far as on the white. See this shading line right here? That should exist in the red, and probably even the blue. You don't have that in there. You don't have these bolts and all that stuff. That's where because that's the panels. It's not just one continuous piece of steel. They actually have breaks in them. You don't have that in these colors. So if you use the white, you probably want to make sure that you didn't spank that out, I guess, when you colored it. See, you got some misskewing here. See, like this doesn't line up, or this needs to either come this way or that needs to go that way. And that's probably because you added this, obviously. It's just those finer details is all. It's not really a big deal, but I would probably adjust them at least anyway. And that's probably what you got going on here too, because this is kind of misskewed. It probably does actually end here, but maybe it does here, I'm not sure. But that's what I was trying to talk about as far as the shadow, the break, because they're panels. There's steel panels. So if anything, go through your colored textures, and I'm sure it's probably the same way in the blue. Here, let me open up the white one. I know it's really hard to see, but the one way I do realize that it's in there or not is if the bolts are there. See if I can find this here. God dang it, did that change mine? Did, didn't it? How does it keep doing that? Don't know why that keeps changing. Did I keep pressing that? Darn it. There we go. Alright. It's going on 5 hours. Holy smokes. For some reason I keep changing scene. I must be inadvertently pressing my numpad. I gotta quit doing that. I'm changing my scene. There we go. Alright, anyway, I was going to open up the soft mall white. You said you used that as a template. I've got, and I'll share that with you, actually. I'll send that to you offline as far as, I got some templates for the safer. So you have it for your uses. So I think that was softwall 2. Should be in there. Yeah. So this one here, yeah, see on this very edge here you can see there's a line. So you can see the bolts too. It's probably hard to see in the stream, but on that edge there should be. No, of course. Absolutely. It's all in the details. And it's an easy fix. I'm not saying you did anything wrong, I guess. But you can really see too how much degradation when you recolored that. I mean, you know, look at how dark that is there. I think if you had that template for the safer, you could really define these a little bit better. Not that these look bad, but the fact that you're losing all this, you know, as far as the bolts and all that stuff, as well as the definition and the welds. I think if you had that template, these would look better. So let me see. I think that was the only white one I think we had. I think it was this. Trying to remember now. Softwall 2. I think that was the only one there was. See, and it could even be, I don't know if you doubled this up. If you did that too, you might have lost that here too. You know, so I can see that happening too. If you doubled that up there to make this that size, yeah, that would have probably happened that way too. Well, if you want the sharper detail, I think the way you can achieve that, and I can, like I said, I'll share you that offline, off stream or whatever. I'll send that to you as far as those templates. Well, I can clearly tell that's what happened. I mean, that's clearly evident to me as far as what went down. As far as you doubled this up and you lost, you know, all this, you know, the bolts and all that stuff, and that's what And without having the template, I guess, for the safer, that would probably be the way to do it. But not knowing, the fact that you lost all this. You didn't know that was there probably. It's an quite an easy oversight actually. So let's get into. I think I already gone over just slightly. That was something else I was looking at. Do you have any? Definitely check all your SKUs for your top and all that stuff. And like I said, regardless of the fact that it doesn't change the way the texture looks, make sure all your text segs are the same on all facades. So like I said, with this one here, I notice the left side, which faces the racing surface, is whoops. So if I go to this one, yeah, if I go to this second one, that one's two. Okay, so all through there, this one looks to be fine. I think it was just the top that was off. So the facade, let's go to the top. Maybe that wasn't. Yeah, this top. So that one's. So the top on the next segment. I was trying to determine where that started. I think it was down here. Yeah, that's what I was trying to determine here. So that should be. Gotta get my bearings straight here. So it should be. Alright. Trying to determine exactly where this area is at. So that should be. I think that's. Yeah, should be right here. I think it should be right here. So if I adjust that, just to show you, so this one's set to 2. Yeah, it seemed like you said it probably won't change it too much. I'm trying to see if I'm in the right spot. So let me put. Dang it, not in the right spot. Where am I at? I'm trying to get my bearings here. Where am I at here? So that's. There should be. Oh, I'm in turn 3. No wonder why. Duh. I was in turn 1. Okay. Let's go over there then. Granted, I ain't going to save this. So any changes that I've made on here, it's not going to basically apply. As far as the texture size, you mean? You didn't realize that's what that was? Alright, so I need to go over here, and there should be. Alright, let me double check this again. There should be a. Okay. Trying to get in the right area. So. What in the world? That's turn 3, right? No, that is turn 1. What the heck? Why am I not seeing that? Alright, dang it. So that was turn 1. That's what I thought. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yep, that's the bolts and steam. That's where the panels start and finish. Alright, so. Where is. Why can I not see what. This here? What's going on? That's turn 1. Okay, so it'd be beyond. Alright. We're gonna get there. Okay, so we're past this hill. Gotcha. Over here. So So there should be... So that must be the Sunoco sign that I'm seeing there. Trying to... Yeah, that's the Sunoco sign. Okay. So we're right in front of the Sunoco sign. Here we go. Yeah, so right in here. Let's check and see what we got here. So on the beginning of this segment, which is right here, should be. Let me double check. So that's wall 01. Yep, there we go. Okay, so we'll change that back. Alright, so yeah, the way this is here, you got 2 on this, and I don't know, you'd have to go through all of them and check them to see as far as how they originally were. I don't remember what we put. I want to say we put 2 on all of it, but I don't remember. But you know, go through and actually look at the camera, make sure it doesn't adjust, because you got these top deals there too. If you've got, I'm gonna go backwards, so probably in here you've got that, yeah, you got the QT, you got that set to 1. So if I, yeah, this one's set to 1. See, and that's gonna throw off that seam. I guess that's the thing I guess I mentioned. So it's like if you've got, okay, this one seems to be fine. So like, yeah, if I adjust this to 2, yeah, so that throws that off. So having this to 1, it's probably not too big of a deal. So you can have that with 1. Do you want to check this to make sure they have someone line up here? That's what those are for, to make sure you got it aligned. I mean, these aren't going to go perfect. That's probably fair to mention. Those definitely aren't going to go perfect. It'll look fine on one side and not the other, but just to get it somewhat lined up there. So this one's probably fine as far as the top QT. So, but definitely go through and make sure. And then like on this one here, yeah, see, this one you got set to 2, so probably if I was to set that to 1, it's gonna throw probably a lot off. But that's the right side, and let's go to the left side, which is the side that faces the track. Yeah, so you could even do that if it comes necessarily to have the top as a 1, if the 2 is like too big. So I'm gonna go back to the top. So yeah, if I set this to a 2, see that you know, you're gonna have to play with that, but make sure they're all the same all the way around, regardless of which way you do it. So if that's too big and you want it to be a 1-to-1, then do it this way. But then make sure that on all facades, be it your right side and your left side, are all set to the same. So that way all those seams, once you get them in there, and primarily with your colored balls too, those will line up. Now, as far as being able to get this off, I think you could probably, I get what you were trying to do, but I think you could get away with, let me see, let me see here. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't remember for sure. Don't quote me on it. I don't remember what we had it set to originally, but yeah. So I'm gonna go back to in front of this sign. Yeah, in front of this local sign. So in here, I want to go back. Shoot, I forgot where I went though. Yeah. So I'm still in there. Okay. So getting to the segment that has the QT. Oops. Which is right here. I think. Yeah, so that's the end of the segment. What you could do and I know it kind of stinks, because it's going to be a little sliver. What you could do, beyond this, you know, where you got this QT here, add another segment. Because you only got 5 in there. You can have a max of 16 segments, 16 text segments within a deal there. So you got plenty of room here. So you can add, and then to jump this forward, just add to this what's already there. So you would have to. Oops, see, I'm doing it again. I'm using my. Don't do that. Okay, so yeah, you want to jump this ahead. So let's try 80. And basically all you're doing, you can use the camera view. You want to get this up to this point. So as you it's probably going to be a pretty big chunk here, so I'm going to put this at like 100 to get that. Yeah, there we go. So that's probably too far. Oh, it's pretty close. So yeah, all you'd have to do is advance it to that area, and you have to play with it. And it's going to vary depending on each segment. Yeah, if you've got the original, you can look and see what that's set at, but check that as far as the text segs. And I'm not saying you have to use what's in there, because I know there's, you know, it's going to depend on the, you know, with you putting these top logos on there, putting it at a 2 or whatever it may not look adequate. But I'm just saying, when whatever you apply on your wall, like say on the one side, make sure it's the same all the way around it, so that way those seams line up. Yeah, so we're just bumping this up here. So we need to go up just a tad more. And the way you do that, if you weren't aware as far as adding text segments, I'm sure you probably were, you can bump this up there and just go in here. See, now we're getting to that point, so we need to bring it back just a tad. Okay, so we went to 102, so we're going to bring this back to like 101. Okay, we can go move up a little bit further. So we'll do 101 and a half. Dang it. 101.5. See, and then what you can do from here, because so you don't have that cut off, just add another text segment to where do your soft wall top with just a white for this one anyway. Let's see, what is it? Soft wall top. I think we'll just go ahead and, for this purpose here, we'll just set it to 1, but set it to whatever it needs to be. Okay, go to the left. And I think it uses soft wall 2, yep. So put that soft wall 2, which is just the white. Okay, set that to 1. Okay. And go to the right side, which is the back side, so that's soft wall. Let's see if soft wall 2, that one too as well. Set that to 1. And see, now you don't have that cut off there. You just got that little sliver there. You added that text segment there. So now it'll not be cut off there. So that's one way if you weren't aware how to do that. But then see, these lines will, having it all at the same text segment, they just line up. And they're not perfect, trust me. I mean, you can tinker with it if you want, as far as to change the, you know, on the top facade here. You can go on here and just adjust it. Whoops, I think I did the wrong one. Yeah, I mean, you can tinker with that, but I wouldn't really mess with it. Just as long as, you know, even if it's like that. So there's something to consider, but that's one way I guess you can get rid of the chopped off and not having to just, you know, go all the way to the end of the segment. You can just add another text segment like I did there, so that way you can end it where you want it to. And that should be good there. So I think that's about it. That's about the only thing that I was, other than these textures here. I think, yeah, definitely what you could do is taking that model of the track. Now that you have that, you should be able to do something with those tire lines. You know, as far as, even if you had to make one texture and apply it to several objects, much the same way we do the foam. Same idea. But I think you can get rid of a lot of this jaggedness in there and it'll look a lot cleaner. Yeah, it shouldn't be that hard. I mean, it's not trying to nitpick it at all. I mean, you know, I mean, maybe I am, but I mean, they're all easy fixes. There's nothing that's that detrimental. You know, the fact that you took the initiative, I guess, to make these alternating colors there, that's pretty snazzy in itself. But yeah, I think once you get all the shading as far as the bolts and stuff like that, so you have the seams and stuff in there, it'll look even better. Right now it's just one continuous piece of steel, and that's not the way it should be. Same goes for the blue. But yeah, check all those top deals, you know, as far as the tech segs, you know, check them all the way around, make sure they have the same tech seg all the way around, and that those seams line up, because it just stood out like a sore thumb to me as far as like right around there. I mean, it was just very noticeable. So, but it looks like the spacing that you've got on these the blue and the red or whatever are pretty sufficient too. I mean, they're pretty adequate. Pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, and even how you did the monster one as far as to put the black on the top too, that's kind of neat. I noticed that down here. Yep. That's pretty cool. I mean, it just, those times of little finer details, it just makes it look that much better. And I think you could probably do the same thing, I guess, when you get that template, you know, for making this deal. It'll definitely look better as far as add more definition to the, not that this one really looks that bad, but you'll have a lot more ability there. But you edit this too. I just noticed that. That's pretty neat. Huh. So does that have, did I have this in the wrong? Let me see. State variable. Oh, I do have it in weekend. Or testing, I should say. Let me put that on 2. Why does it only have that much on there? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Huh. Thought it went all the way down, from what I remember. Maybe it didn't. That shouldn't be that difficult, that restart zone. Shouldn't be. I mean, as far as the tire lines or whatever, I mean, that's up to you. I'm just saying, I wouldn't use what you've got, because it just ruins the track, I feel. It just looks like doo-doo. I mean, I understand they do have it there. It's clearly defined, and I don't discount the fact that they actually have that there, but the monster low value is set to 2. You mean as far as the 2.0 texture size? Yeah, I can probably look at that one and see. What's the name of that one? Softball. What do you got that named as? That's M Energy. Gotcha. So you got it as a map of 2, priority 4. So you got that. That's all good. Oh. But as far as the yeah, if you had to set that to text size as 2, you know, it might vary. I'm not saying, all I'm saying is that I have some consistency on all the facades. So it's like if your left side is a 2.0, then put your top at a 2.0 as well as your back side at 2.0. Otherwise, those seams won't line up. And that'll vary depending on, from each tech segment that you go to. Just adjust them as such. Otherwise, you're going to get all them. They're going to be miscued. They're going to be misaligned and all that. And it's, like I said, as I was driving around there, that was totally noticeable. See, like this one here is obviously just, oh no, not that one. There was one up here. I was coming back through here. See, like this one's off. Yeah, this seam here. It probably needs to go back. I'm not sure. It's lined up here, okay. But yeah. Yeah, see, this one's off. And that's probably because you got this folds of honor top deal in there. So yeah, you'd have to adjust it here so that this line here lines up with this seam. So it might be just a tech sag and look at it, but I might fix that. See, that one's before the Sunoco sign. Let me see if I can look at that one. Let me see here. So yeah, that would be in that section. Should be, let me see here. So you got QT, folds of honor right there. Yeah, you got that set to a 1. I think that's the one there. Yep, okay. So you got that set to a 1 and 9. So what you'd want to do, if that's where you want that folds of honor to be, then set your right. Oh, actually go to the left. Yeah, see, like this one, set this one to 9 as well on the left side. So I'll set that to 9. See, now it'll line up. See what I mean as far as having it the same on all facades? Oh yeah, that's why I'm telling you. That's why I mentioned this to you. You want those lines to be. So yeah, this one here is probably a pretty good example. You had this one on the left side here. It wasn't set to 9, the same as the top. So when you go to your top side, now granted, you can probably keep this one at 1. That's probably fine, because that'll still line up. And then the back side, whoops, go to the left side. What's the back side? You got that already set to 2 and 9. So if you look at this, now that should all line up. You know something else? I didn't know if you knew this or not, but I figure I'll share this in here too. To change the speed at how much slewing in the camera view, this is something that James and I came to find out, and I guess Brian, I was talking to Brian there earlier too. It's just like, if you want to change the speed and slow it down, you can use the minus and plus sign on your numpad. And you'll see it up in the top right hand corner, but it'll change. Okay, so I got it too slow. Yeah, so you can change the speed. That was starting to bug me. It's just like, James actually found it by accident. Yeah, because it has that feature in 3D Max too, to be able to do the same thing. So, yeah, I wasn't sure if you're answering to that. I didn't know if you knew that or not, but I figured I'd throw that out there because that's a huge thing. So now you can do it nice and slow. But yeah, if you look at the back side of this now, and granted that piece of foam is here, but that all lines up now as far as having those set properly. So that was one good example as far as, and you'll have to check those, I guess, all the way throughout. But I think that's a cool idea as far as to put that for the top. You see, and that's just another way of how you can, more define, I guess, that, the fact that you've got the geometric steel as the thickness it needs to be. You have this ability to do that. And if you had this as the exaggerated, it'd be harder to do. You could still do it. It's just like you would have to exaggerate or shrink down even the You know that, and I've seen that happen. I've seen that done. In fact, I think it's evident in the Vegas build. They've got it on that small little edge that's in the conventional safer barrier texture. As far as that's, you know, like it's exaggerated, the thickness. But this one here, it's more. Seeing if I was to open that texture, I can humor myself actually. So like the where's the top? Folds of honor. Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah. So that's a 1-to-1. So when you put it on there as a 1.0 as far as the texture size, that's exactly the same size it would be. And that's how you got that particular one. Same with the Quick Trip or whatever it was. And I know these. I know this chat is obviously there's the delay in there. So what are you talking about? I guess as far as the I forgot now. As far as the too fast. Oh yeah, the camera speed. Camera speed. Yeah. No, take your time on it. As far as the Vegas build, whatever, you know, it's like take a lot of what I've mentioned as far as, you know, into consideration. Alright, that's, I'm going to look at, well, I'm thinking of it, that, DAE of the, that DAE of that track there, I want to see what that looks like, just out of curiosity. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and import I think I put that on the desktop, I believe. Yeah. Okay. I just want to see if this will load. Yeah, like I said, just take your time on the Vegas build, you know, as far as sure you got enough going on with it. What the heck is going on here? That must be TSDs or something. What? See, that's probably another fair thing to mention. See, I probably wouldn't use this because it's got all the TSDs in there. What I would probably do, suggest, even go one step further with creating this DAE model, is remove all the TSDs as well. Because otherwise you're going to get all this junk in here. You don't need that. I don't know if you can see that in the stream, but there's all these TSDs in here. Let me go to the polygon here. Yeah, see all these here TSDs. You can see all the squares. So probably what I'd do is not only the objects, delete that, you know, from a save it, you know, just save a throwaway PTF. Remove your TSDs in your objects before you create your DAE. I just wanted to look and see what was going on here, to be honest. It does load, obviously, anyway. But yeah, you should be able to trying to see. Okay, this must be the restart zone right here. Yeah. So like in this area right here, for example, this, wait, hold on. That's the fence. What am I doing? That's the backstretch, right? I gotta get my bearing straight on this model. Let me see what's going on here. This is the front stretch over here. Yeah, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, here we go. So this should be... Still, it would be a good idea, I guess, to get rid of the TSDs, because I don't know. Alright, so... This should be the pit entrance area. Just trying to get an idea of... Yeah, see, there's all these polys right in here. That should be about the area. Trying to pinpoint the restart zone. Might be a little tricky there. I'm trying to figure. Should be able to, though. It's... I think the restart zone... I wonder why I don't see the lines for the TSDs. Or is that it right there? Oh, dang it. It's so jerky. Yeah, I don't know if that's... Is that the TSD for... No, that's the stand of the segment. What the heck? Figured you should be able to see the... Yeah, you should be able to get these polys. Let me do this. You did what? I put pink grass in the shape of my restart zone. Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, that's the piece that I missed there. Yeah. So yeah, where you'd want it to go, and you would have to use the geometry of the track, obviously. You know, as far as to apply it, you know, to that area, geometrically. So that, because this is all geometry. Yeah, that's the piece that I missed there. I was just seeing if I could determine without doing that, but yeah. But you probably get that whole process there. Yeah, what you'd want to do is apply the pink area as far as where the restart zone is. Yeah. So, damn. See, the way these segments are lined up here, you'd have to split it. Bummer. Yeah. See, in order to do it, you know, efficiently, I guess I should say, so that it's just that area that you're putting the pink on, you'd almost have to split it. But that would be a throwaway PTF, so it wouldn't really matter. What you could essentially do, just for the sake of defining that area more, so that you could get those polys for that area, what you could do is just split the segment prior to saving the PTF. Go like this, so like split segment, and then just define that zone like this. And don't worry about if it screws up here. You only need this area. Don't worry about the rest of it screwing up. So go into this one, I'll split this segment. You know, and just kind of line it up like so. So that way you've got, and then just in those areas put an F section and put your pink. So like do an F section like so to stop where that's at. So just define it in such a fashion. And like I said, this would be a throwaway PTF. It's not anything you're going to use for... You might want to do that separate, I guess, from, you know, doing the tar lines or whatever, as far as... Come on. There we go. So I'm trying to connect that. Yeah, so define it like that, so you'd have a way you'd be able to put pink up in this area and more clearly define where that's at. Because this will all translate into the model, into the DAE. You know, define those polys a little bit more too. Okay. I think I have a PTF already made for that. I couldn't open. Okay. Well, you know what to do then. As far as I said, just change where the lead segment is, and then just open that. So if you've already got this all done, like I'm showing you, open that PTF, move the lead segment, and then you should have the ability to open that up in 3D Sim and create your DAE. What do you mean change the restart segment? Don't move it. You want to keep it in that spot. You know, you want to keep this defined, so the head segment, you know, the head of the segment, leave that alone. Don't move that. But as far as being, if you find it necessary to have to split it, just use that. And like I said, it'll just be a throwaway PTF. Because all you're trying to do is just get this defined, so you can put your pink texture on there, and that way when you go to select those polys in Max, you can clearly define that, separate out as an object, and so on. No, you have to do the lead segment. Okay, so maybe I misunderstood you. The restart segment, you want to do the lead segment. The lead segment has to be moved. And like I said, put that on the back stretch, so that's well enough out of the way so that when you try to open that PTF in 3D Sim Ed, it doesn't recognize it as a default PAPI track. So yeah, if that's what you meant as far as by restart segment, that's the lead segment. That's what you want to adjust. Right. Yeah. So hopefully you can utilize all that. It's looking to me though you would necessarily have to split that segment to define that area more, because of the way it overlaps. Otherwise the pink is going to go beyond what you actually need. So I would go ahead and split the segment like I did here, so you can define that more. And just, you know, like I said, that's a throwaway PTF. That's just to make your DAE so that you can get those polys isolated. Yeah, I got you. As far as the lead segment, that's cool. So yeah, looks like my processor for the video card is cooling off. That's good. Not burning that up anymore. So I can't think of anything else as far as that goes. I think there's a way, and I'd have to look at, I was looking at it too. I wanted to see polys wise for creating objects, I guess, for the tar lines. You could probably almost do that the same way, but I would do it in a different PTF. You know, start with your original PTF. Don't use any, you know, don't use this one like for the restart zone, because it's going to screw all this up. Start over, you know, probably go through, and even if you have to, take out a lot of the F sections that exist for the grooves and all that crap. Take all that out of there so that you can just apply the pink texture all the way across there, so that we can isolate all those polys. Might be a little bit of work, but I think it would be worth it to be able to break down the polys that exist. You know, remove those F sections, whatever, so that you have a better way to be able to isolate those polys, be able to put the pink texture all the way across. And then when you create your DAE, never use your keeper for experiments. You mean your final PTF as far as the one that you would use to make a DAT, you mean? Yeah, you don't want to do that. You always want to refer back to that for sure when you're creating a potential PTF, I guess, to create a DAE. But in a lot of cases you have to make separate PTFs so that you can define what you need to define to isolate what you need out of the model. So yep, definitely never use in most cases you hardly ever use your final PTF as far as like what is going to be used, I guess, to create your DAT file as a model. You usually have to, modify it or whatever so that you can isolate the polys that you need, I guess, to build what you need to do. As far as if you're going to use a part of the model, I guess, to create an object that conforms, I guess, to the shape of the. So. Let me try something here. I'm just checking to see if some of my commands work. It does work. Cool. Facebook, Discord. Neat. See, I need to adjust a lot of that. That's all my bot. See, I might actually turn the timers off. Now that I think of it, I'll just, if anybody wants to, I need to figure out why my one bot is not working still. Just, yeah, this one here doesn't seem to be doing a darn thing. Because it's supposed to be putting information into my one Discord channel, and that's not doing that. So I gotta figure out what's going on with that one. I've been watching that, I guess, as I've been streaming here, so. Yeah. It's a good idea. I mean, yeah, you're going to have a lot of PTFs, I guess, like, and if you can keep it all sorted as far as, which PTF had what, it's like, especially if you name them appropriately, I guess, to say, what you did to it, that's going to help. But you got a lot more to work with now as far as like you have the model of the track now, because obviously that was an issue. Shouldn't have an issue now. So we take a look around. Yeah, so that's pretty cool the way you did this. As far as that, looks good for the most part. Looks like you got some shading issue going on here. Looks like when you put this fold up under here, something going on there. I'm going to check that. Yep, this is another one of those things you probably should check. Yeah, because this has got a line here, but you got some shading or something else going on here. What is that? The Twitter one doesn't leave a link in chat. No, that's not a link. That's just my name. Yeah, I mean that's primarily, I guess, why we're going through all this. We want it to be as clean and precise as possible. I mean, that's... And it's not to say you don't necessarily... I mean, did a fairly decent job so far. I mean, it's just a few minor tweaks. I want to see what you got for... Okay, so you got that. That's an interesting texture size there. 2.18. Yeah, I'm not sure why I had to do that. 2.18 on that. 8. Oh wait, that's the... Hold on. Okay, that's the Atlanta one. Hold on. Oh, okay. So never mind. That should be 2.18. So on the first one, what? Why does that have? Let me go back here. There's that one right there. That's only a 6. Where is that one there? I don't know where that one's at. Minus 6, or did you just include that? I'm trying to see what you did there. Huh. Should be. Trying to see where you got that texture at there. Trying to see what's going on there. So left walls, you got minus 6. Where the heck is that? Minus 5. Okay, wall Chevy. Alright, this is gonna start bugging me now. Minus 6. So did you just apply? Trying to figure out what you did there with that. Where is it? Softball, minus 6. Yeah, I see what you did. See, that's probably why. See, I wouldn't do that. I see what you did here now. I wouldn't do it that way as far as to add that into this. I don't know if you got that original texture for that, but that's... I'd apply this as a separate texture. This Folds of Honor deal here. And then add a text seg. To be honest. Because I think that's what's making this not line up. As far as all this goes, that's probably why you're getting all this black. I would put this here, if you got that fold, this here, I put that in its own texture, even if it's just a 512 wide. That'd be a suggestion. Oh, you borrowed that from another track? Yeah. See, I can kind of see that too, because this is not the way we did the SMI logos. We got the white. In fact, I can open up the original one we had there. Yeah, we had the white that goes around the so I'm just gonna check this out here. Oh, I see what you did. So that just made that, you just named it as in minus 6. I got you. Yeah. I see what you did. This was our original. I think I actually got one that's... Whoop. Soft wall, that's right. EMS. Yeah. I see what you did now. Yeah, this has got a black background as opposed to. Gotcha. But again, I think, yeah, once I get you that that template there, you should be able to make those. Yeah, I think that's probably what's going on with this here, from what I can tell. That's why you're getting this little bit of shading in there, because that's on the end of that. Because it's so close, and the way the text seg is, I mean, you could probably play around with it and get it right, but I think it'd be better if you could put this in a separate. So I don't know if you've got this logo and can, you know, essentially put that into its own texture. That's what I would do, and apply that as its own text seg. Lesson learned. Yeah, I guess I didn't necessarily notice that up till now. It's like, yeah, it's got the black background on the Atlanta logo as opposed to the white. See, all the more reason, and this is what I've always preached to myself, why I do, if you want it done right, you do it yourself. So it's like, as far as it might be good or whatever, somebody else took the initiative, I guess, to make a texture or whatever like that, but even if they did that or whatever, you can always make it better, because that's a perfect example in my if you ask me, this is a perfect example. Rather than do it this way, and the fact that even if you're going to put it on a black background as it is in actuality, the SMI logo has a white ring around it. It's not the way this is. If you look at any SMI logo that's on a black background, that's what it has. There's a white ring around the circle, the oval, or the ellipse. You just don't see it on these here because it's on a white background. But I was looking to see, I don't think I had one that was on a dark background, so I can't show you that as an example. Yeah, I've gotten to the habit, it's like, yeah, it's nice, somebody obviously made something like that, and you were just, but what it ultimately comes down to, it's just like, you're better off just making your own, because even though someone took the initiative, I guess, to do it, doesn't mean it was done right. I mean, I hate to be a pessimist that way, but that's essentially what it boils down to. But you can see the crispness of how, having that template, which I'll get to, like I said, you can see the highlights, and even the seams and all that stuff that even come through the black lettering in this case. So all right, I think we're coming up on the 6 hours in the stream. That's, wow. I did not expect to have to do that, but I think there's a lot of information that's useful. So I need to check my part of the reason why I don't usually like to make the streams this long is it takes a while, because I usually like to put the archive up on YouTube. Yep. Got it here. So as it sits right now, yeah, I'm sitting on 7 gigs, so I'm probably gonna end this pretty soon, because otherwise that's already gonna take forever to upload. I'm probably gonna have to edit the piss out of that thing to well, that's good. It was time well spent, that's for sure. I mean, it's wasn't all for nothing. I mean, I think there's a lot of clips I'm going to have to go through, I guess, when I review the archive, I guess, as far as for the stream, to kind of pinpoint, I guess, on specific shortcuts and whatever that can be applied. So It really bugs me about that bot, though. I got this one bot that I got set up on my Discord, and it's supposed to give me more information as far as who was active in the chat and whatever, and it's not doing that. It's really ticking me off. So I gotta look into that, obviously, but I'll do that off stream there. I was just hoping the one bot's working pretty good. It showed that I went online and torch one website for what there. I mean, as far as storage, I'm not worried about storage. It's just a matter, like I was saying, that video, it's huge. I mean, it's going to take a while to upload. Yep, I'm going to do that. In fact, even off screen here as we speak, I'm packing that up there, and I'll send that once I take the stream offline. As far as anything else, I can't really think of anything else, so no, seriously. In fact, I can show you exactly what is contained in here so you got somewhat of an idea. Oh, gotcha. I know that it's freaking chat's delayed, but it's like storage I don't ultimately have a problem with. Trying to remember now what I was at. Oh, I know what I was doing. Okay, so this is all good here. We've got that all tested out. I just got to remember where I put the rest of. Alright, let's put this back on. See, in fact, I got that sample model PSG, the simple here. That's what we had made available here, and that's the only thing that does is obviously creates a weekend switch and the population switch. It doesn't go into all that detail with the switching of testers for grandstands and stuff like that. So found that. But as far as, I think I got that under my general objects. Barricades. Styrofoam block. Maybe that's not the one I was thinking of. No. That's for the block. Actually, that's not the one I was thinking of. Trying to remember where the piss I put that darn thing. Projects. I think it was under needed things. Track map. Yeah, there it is. Yep, and I got a couple of different ones here. I got a super wide, which is I think a 2048 wide at 128, and then wide, which is a 1024. And I've also got a template for the soft wall top, which that was the initial idea, I guess, for and I think this one actually is the conventional, the old way. Yeah, that's the old way. Yep. So don't use it anymore. At least we try not to. So yeah, I can open up. I thought I had. I think that's this one here. So this is the regular size of 512 by 128. So I can send those all to you, actually. Yeah, so here's the normal size. And what it has in here, it's got all the different layers, the bolts, shading, all that good stuff. You know, but there's also, I got super wide and wide. I use this one quite a bit. Yeah, this one's a 1024 by 120. It's basically a double of the original, but it has all the same layers separate. Already ready to go. So this is what you would probably want to use as far as doing your colored ones, so you can color these. In fact, it has the actual safer color. So like if you want to do it the red, apply the red. See, and you got everything's in there. You got the seams, the bolts, and all that. I'm sure that's not necessarily the right same color red, but I'm just giving you an idea. Oh, I got you. Yeah, I may have to do that. You know, I might, because what I find with the video software that I have, as far as to break it down, it always puts that black box around it, even though I stream in 720. But usually the stream that I save as I'm streaming, it's if I'm able to upload that directly to YouTube, and then it doesn't do that. So, and I haven't figured out how to not get the video editing software to not do that. That's what's irritating. Because, you know, like I said, streaming in 720, so. But yeah, that's basically the section is. So yeah, like I said, as far as being able to create your colored stripes, you could probably use this one. It's got everything in there. All I gotta do is color it, save it as a bitmap, and then make your map. Yeah, you just merge it all, flatten it, save your bitmap, and so I'll go ahead and close that. Yep, so I can zip those all up, and in fact I'll do that even as we speak. Put this in a folder. Do that, and copy this one. I'll put the super wide. Not gonna worry about the top, because that's the old one. Copy all those into here. So this is video proof or whatever that I'm sending it to you. So. Oh, you do? Nice. Well, maybe I can send this video to you. Maybe I can upload to yours. We'll discuss that off stream, but. Maybe we can do that as far as to break it down, because I'm probably thinking YouTube might not even let me upload a file that big. We'll see. I'd probably like to break it down in, like, you know, 2-hour increments or something like that. Okay. I'll probably take you up on your offer there. I did not expect it, I guess, to really stream this long, to be honest. So, video proof here that making this. And there we go. So I got this ready to go. Put this on the desktop. Alright, and then let's go ahead and delete this. Alright, so yep, I got that ready to go. So that'll be up on its way. Yeah, I might even have to do, like I said, this is a six hours worth of stuff. I might have to do 3 parts. Like if I do them in 2-hour increments, that's primarily, usually the farthest I like to go with them is like right around 2 hours at the most. That way it's a little bit easier to get them uploaded to YouTube, so I'd like to try that. So even if I can put that up there and you could maybe do that for me, that'd be awesome. Okay. Sounds good. But with all that being said, I'm going to send this to you, I guess, once I go off stream here, and you know, like I said earlier, it's like you got a little bit of work to do. You got a lot more stuff that you can apply, I guess, to that Atlanta build, so now that you can open the model of it and so on. So have fun with that. So appreciate anybody else. I'm just checking to see who else has been on the stream, and always had a couple come and go. Appreciate anybody that came and joined on the stream. Yeah, I believe I do. And if I don't, I'll hit you up. Yeah, for anybody that came out of the stream, appreciate it. Hope some of the information was useful. That's what we're all about here. So hopefully be able to do this again some other time. Maybe not quite so long next time though, because yeah, we have too much of a break, I guess, in between streams. It's only one big problem. So yep, I would expect nothing but the best as far as the information that's been provided. World is your oyster now as far as having a lot more stuff available, I guess, to make the tracks just freaking sparkle. There'd be no excuses. So, again, with all that said, appreciate for anybody that did show up to the stream. Most of those that are still here. We will definitely do this again sometime soon. With this being as long as a stream as it was, it may not be. If there's more questions, I guess anybody who watches the archive, be it either on Twitch or once I get it up on YouTube, any further questions, so feel free to please smack on that follow button and make sure your notifications are on so that you are aware of when the stream goes live. Anything besides that, check all the other social media as far as on Twitter, Discord. Yeah, feel free to use those outlets, I guess, to pry at our brains as far as any prying questions that you might have as far as need answers to. So feel free to use those. But for now, I'm going to call it quits, and thanks again.